Hi, this is God, Shamm God,
And I'm Jose.
and this is Talk to God. Hi, I'm God, Shamm God, and I'm here today with my brother, Jason Wingate, host Jose.
J5, better known as J5.
Yes, sir.
How you doing today, brother? How's everything?
It's a pleasure being here. Being by your side, being with Jose,
Yeah.
just enjoying life.
For the people that don't know you, the kids that don't know you, just tell them a little bit about yourself and your upbringing and things like that.
Jason Wingate, from Harlem, New York. Was blessed, to play this game, basketball. It's taken me all over the world. Graduated from Rice High School. We got city and state championship. Was fortunate to get a full scholarship to Manhattan College, where I won three conference championships. Went to the NCAA twice. That was just amazing, and fortunate enough to go overseas and play professional.
Yeah, so we got Jason on the show today because where I come from, it's not about people just making it to the NBA and what people consider a success story. Jason is a success because he got a college degree. He play in all the local tournaments. The kids look up to him and things like that. And when I was growing up, when I first started playing basketball, I didn't have idols like Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson. When I first fell in love with basketball, it was at 155th Street, Rucker Park, with guys like Master Rob, Future, Terrell Mack, Sean Arnold, Mike and George and Reg. So I just wanted him to come up here to share his story and show kids the possibility. Even if you don't make it to the NBA, you can still be somebody, you can still be impactful. And we got the co-host, Jose, that's been in basketball forever, doing commentating and things like that. And the local kids look up to him for the joy he put into their life. So growing up, you come after me. In my era is considered like one of the golden eras. But then you played in the golden era with great point guards with Talik Brown, Omar Cook, Andre Barrett, Kenny Satterfield. What it was like growing up in that era playing with those guys?
That was crazy back in the day because you had to bring your game every day. Mm-hmm. You couldn't go out there and not tie your shoes up tight. Mm-hmm. And growing up, I had guys like Lil Danny from Douglas Projects, Majestic Map, Douglas Projects. Mm-hmm. So these are guys that are a couple years older than me, but it was funny. Nobody had a basketball but me. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't old enough to go outside as early as they did or stay outside as late as they did. So they would just call me out the window, and I would have to throw my basketball to them and actually watch them play. And then when it was time for me to get out there, I couldn't just get on the court. Mm-hmm. So I had to really bust my tail and get out there and show them that I could hang with them.
Mm-hmm. What it was like growing up, you're like one of the kids, and I know everybody in the neighborhood got a kid like this. You had a father that was so influential in your life, and most kids, they come from single parent homes with their mother and things like that, but your father was there guiding you most of the way and became fathers to other kids in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. How was it in growing up like that? Because most kids that have that don't want that, and then the kids that don't have that want that.
My father never forced me to play basketball. Mm-hmm. He is a living legend himself, mm-hmm. but he never trained me. Mm-hmm. I learned from being, my peers that were older than me, like I said, Lil Danny, Majestic Map, and I was I'm really a student of the game. Mm-hmm. So, growing up watching you, mm-hmm. Kareem Reed and Felipe's and that, there's just that legacy mm-hmm. of, the Catholic School League. You probably don't even notice, my first choice was LaSalle. Mm. Because I remember when I first seen you play, you was playing against Chudney Gray. Mm. And I'm like, yo, this is Shamm God that they talking about? This is he's a magician out there. He know, but that game was crazy up at Mount St. Michael's. Mm. And it was funny, I was gonna go to LaSalle, but as both of you know, I had Derman Player. He was my coach at Riverside, mm-hmm. and he was at Rice at the time. Mm. And he was like, nah, that's not happening. I'm taking you to Rice, And when I got to Rice, I was there under Mo Hicks, and that's where I was playing in the backcourt with Andre Barrett, and every day was it was a dogfight.
This question is for Jose. You growing up in Harlem, when you grew up, because you're older than me and Jason, when did you first fall in love with basketball and things like that?
Well, I first was playing baseball, honestly, because I'm Spanish.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
Speak that Spanish, man.
well, anyway, I went to Rucker Park and saw this guy named Doogie play.
Okay, Dancing Doogie.
The Dancing Doogie, and he was just hitting it off the backboard. He had about 45 points, and they was all bank shots, all bank shots, and all bank shots. So after I seen him play, I said, damn, I'm like what he's doing. I went to the park, and I just started shooting the bank shot, and from that day on, I just fell in love with the game, watching Doogie play.
So, you growing up and, I guess, like you said, you was playing baseball, then you was playing basketball. When did you fall in love with that, with the way that all the kids know you from doing the microphone and being a commentator and just, giving life to the park, even like me coming to the park playing and just hearing you call my name and things like this, just wanted me to play hard.
That happened by mistake. I was working for the Board of Ed, and then one of the guys I worked with, he was running Kingdom, Honcho.
Honcho, okay.
And then Booby Smooth or AG was doing the game, and they didn't come. They didn't show up. So he asked me to do it. He said, you funny anyway, and you tell jokes, So I just started doing it, and after I saw how everybody reacted to my jokes, and when I was giving kids names and stuff like that, they said, you should do this permanently, and that was back in, 2098. That's how long ago. And after that, I saw the effect I had on kids. I just kept doing it in tournament, 55th Rucker, the Dykeman, Tri-State. I did it all over.
And yeah, that's good. And then Jason, you played. Of course, you came up under me and things like that. But we have so much in common because we're from the same neighborhood, things like that. And then you also played for a coach that coached me. And how was it playing for Coach Gonzalez and things like that when you was at Manhattan College and stuff like that?
Everybody knows Coach G is he's a tough cookie to crumble. You can't he's a tough guy to play for. But thanks to my father and just me understanding discipline, I didn't have a problem as far as if I understood if I did something wrong, there's consequences. One thing that I learned from Coach G is he prepared me for the real world. He always used to say, oh, this is my livelihood, the real world is, it's tough out there. You're in college, you don't understand that. You got room and board, it's free, food, everything, you're just living a life. But now, as I'm a teacher, I try to instill that in kids that you can't be late. When you're here from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock, nothing else matters. Your parents made sure you got to school, and nothing else matters. Do what you got to do in that time frame, and everything will take care of itself. And that was Gonzo's whole philosophy. If we had practice for 2 hours, don't worry about your girlfriend, don't worry about your parents. Give me your undivided attention, and then we'll figure everything else after that.
You being a student of the game, and a lot of kids have problems like this, but I never seen this problem from you. So, you try so hard, you work hard, do everything you think is right to make it to the NBA. Then you get to a point to college where you feel like, okay, this might not happen. How do your mind change to okay, I need to figure out something else besides basketball?
That was tough for me for a while when I finished school because I really didn't. Only thing I knew was basketball, and it was a sense of pride. Especially we know coming from New York, our egos are so big, and I honestly thought it was a problem to get a regular job for a while.
Yeah.
So I couldn't see myself waking up just going to get a job because I had to live that life that I'm making 6 figures overseas or whatever it is. So I couldn't have somebody see me working at Starbucks or whatever it is. So I just wouldn't do anything. I would just stay in the house all day, and I would come out at like 5 o'clock, as if I worked. And I'll tell you a funny story. One of my boys had a job, and he always used to tell me to come to after work mixers. And I'm like, what are you supposed to do in an after work mixer? Because I don't have a job. So I'm like, what am I supposed to talk about? Like, I don't have it. What am I supposed to dress? Should I wear a shirt and tie? I don't work. So he's like, be yourself. So it was just hard making that transition, life after basketball.
And Jose, you coming from our neighborhood, and you know a lot of guys that play basketball that thought they was gonna make it to the NBA and things like that, and you try to give them advice, things like that, and then when they don't make it, you see the same guys in the neighborhood and stuff like that. What do you think about guys that don't make the transition but can't make the transition in the real world either?
Sometimes, it's a sad situation. You try to instill some wisdom that you're still young. A lot of them played college, They had a standstill in life, sometimes when you try to talk to them, they think you're disrespecting them. You understand what I'm saying? And we all grew up in the streets, and temptation is crazy. You know that.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
And sometimes that's the easiest way to survive. But a lot of times you end up dead or you end up in jail. So, me working for the Board of Ed for 23 years, school safety officer, then becoming a teacher, it was, I seen a lot of people come and go. I'm the type of person who, as you know, J5, I'm getting calls all the time, jobs available, One time happened with you and whoever, I'm always trying to give back, or I don't give anyone pity because I'm always trying to help somebody. And that's a reputation I have in New York City and Harlem.
And where did that first come into your life? Where do you get that sense of give back?
My grandmother, she was, if I brought somebody in my house, she fed them. She never let me throw anything away. She would say, somebody needs it. Realize how fortunate you are. When I was in school, you have the best job in the world, which is nothing. Get good grades, go to the bathroom, wash your you-know-what, and respect your parents. You know what I'm saying? So I give a lot of that credit to my grandmother.
And Jason, I see similar traits in you, like with Jose, and I know Jose probably see it, like whether we looking on Instagram and, now you teach at the school, and I see you in the park with the kids playing basketball, and I see how much joy you give the kids. Where did you get that sense from, like, I need to, be involved with the kids, try to help them and things like that?
The biggest thing, especially with this generation, because the sense of respecting your elders is kind of lost. I was brought up in, a generation where if you older than me, I gotta respect you. It's nothing to talk about. But today, if they can't really relate to you, generation is brushing you off. So I try to keep that sense of boundaries where I'm the teacher, but I'm cool also. So once the kids see that I'm cool, and I can get through to them, not just in the classroom. If I could talk to you outside the classroom, whether it's on a basketball court, at lunch. Oh, you like pizza? Yeah, I like pizza too. Why you didn't get the pepperonis? I like pepperonis. That builds a rapport. So now, when it's time for you to do that math problem, you might not be able to talk to that kid. So now I could pull them to the side and get through to them a little bit better.
All of us coming from Harlem, I think is a great story for even us to just be here. You know what I'm saying? Because we all come from the era where it was a lot of, where Harlem was like #1 drug place.
From the 80s, you the 90s.
Yeah, in the world. So we all seen people that was like great in basketball, sell drugs, go to jail, or get killed. And, it amazes me that we all could be still sitting here having this conversation because we all kept our head above water without falling into the temptations and things like that. So growing up, who are some of the best basketball players you've seen that people probably don't know, and people probably do know?
Me, Puda.
Puda the gangster.
Puda the gangster. One of the best basketball players I've seen. Like I said, Gerald Thomas, Dancing Doogie, Carlton Green. Another name, Tip Dog. List goes on and on. You know, Kendall. Defense is crazy.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys, especially a situation like Kendall, 10th grade, I went to go see him play, and Rick Pitino was in the stands. The following week, he got locked up. You understand what I'm saying? Made the back page of the Daily News for the wrong reason. So it's a lot of situations which can go on and on that we can talk about over and over again. Ali Moe.
God bless the dead, Black
God bless the
Widow,
dead, you know.
N1,
Yeah.
things
And
like
one,
that.
you know, he was an exceptional 6'8" point guard, 6'7", exceptional dribbling skills. So, you know, it could go on and on about guys who didn't make it out. You know, then we have success stories also. I grew up with Jamal Mashburn in Colonial Projects, you know. I feel like Shamm is a success story. Even J5 played a couple of years
Appreciate it.
overseas. You know, you're teaching now. You're giving back the knowledge that somebody taught you. You understand what I'm saying? You're a success story. You don't have to play 10 years in the NBA to be a success story. You understand what I'm saying? So,
And that's what I try to tell the kids today because everything is not making the NBA.
it's not.
Like
the
I-
odds of you making the NBA is a needle in a haystack.
Well, I tell kids now, whether it's sports or anything else that you're good at, as long as you can get a full scholarship
Yeah.
doing that, you made it. I have zero debt because I use basketball to my ability to go to school.
Sure.
I don't know if I'd have went to school if I would have had to pay. So, you know, it's just that little thing right there where, you know, that's a jump start in life.
So, you know, now we fast forward, we here, you know, and you know, y'all my brothers, you know, and I come from the era where we, you know, we pull each other up, not leave people down or put people down. So, you know, y'all on this journey with me because I feel like it's a journey not just for me, but for Harlem, for New York. You know, me being back in the NBA and things like that, and now with Puma Life and stuff like that. How do y'all see the maturation of Puma since, you know, we all here sneakerheads, we all grew up on sneakers, and now what Puma's doing for the community, for myself, things like that. How do y'all see the, you know, the growth and the new era of Puma?
It's funny because just this year alone, from me, you know, supporting the Puma brand, supporting you, and like pretty much every day I would wear something Puma to school. And, you know, the kids was gravitating to it because I guess the way I swagged it out or the way I would put it together and just me having that impact on their lives, they wanted to wear Puma. And it was like, I would see it sprinkled throughout the school or just in New York, period. I'm like, I don't know if I just wasn't looking for it before,
Yeah.
but it's like wherever I turn my head, like a girl will have a Puma pouch or I'll come in with some sneakers and they're like, oh, yo, I got those. And I'm like, it was just never seen or heard before.
The funny thing is, when all of this was happening, you know, Shamm sent me, yo, what you think of this? Like, yo, what you think of this? And, you know, I'm with the other brand or whatever. I said, it's cool, you know, but I'm so stuck on the other brand. So I started seeing J5. And I started seeing Shamm. I said, yo, that's fly. You know, damn, this old man will look all right with that on. You know what I'm saying? So Jay-Z he's amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Then he got, you couldn't get a better representative than the God, you know, coming to Harlem,
Appreciate it.
tight sweatsuit on, you know, acting like a muscular and all that, you know, trying to be extra bow-legged and all that, you know, but before you get out the car, picking his beard and all that, you know, I see all that, and got guys in Harlem wearing Puma, you know, I'm gonna go back wearing Puma, and then you got J5 over here, suede skin and all that, curly white straight teeth, you know. So why not the old man latch on, right?
No,
And that's what I'm gonna do. You know, it's comfortable. You know, so Puma got a bright future, man.
Yeah, I think, like I said, when I first met with Puma to talk about, coming aboard, what struck me the most is how much they want to do for kids and
Community,
for the
yes.
culture.
Right.
Yes.
So that was like the biggest thing for me to be a Puma because I can't do nothing or represent nothing that don't represent my community and stuff like that. And Puma was so community based. And even if you look at the people that we signed, it's like whatever they got going on, community, whatever's true to their heart, Puma try to make sure they expand and show the world
Right.
and things like that. And I think, the sky's the limit for Puma. You know what I'm saying? Even much as I did for them, they doing for me, like with this amazing podcast, with these amazing people that's helping me bring my story to life and things like that. And I appreciate everything that comes my way, whether it's from the Dallas Mavericks, whether it's from Puma, but it all comes from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Harlem has taught me so many amazing things. It's not only the bad things in the hood. I had amazing people, whether it was drug dealers, whether it was regular people, always pushing me to do great things, always, pushing me to evolve. And, y'all my brothers, y'all part of my journey. So that's why I just wanted to sit down and just have this, just talk with y'all about what we can do to make Harlem great, and make Harlem great again, and what we could do for the community. Any suggestions y'all have, any ideas I have, I just like to hear them from y'all, being from the community.
Right.
I sit back and say, wow, time flies. I see a little kid at 145th Street Park, 5:36 in the morning, and I knew his father. Me and his father was cool before he could even come outside. That tells you how old I am. I know I look kind of young, but
Whoa.
I'm gonna compliment myself. But anyway, to see how he evolved into a young man in education, teaching now, I'm really proud of Jason Wingate and Shamm. I don't even know what to say. He held his head. I always say when things are low, you only can go up, and he has a big heart. And I want to thank Puma also for the opportunity for having me. Having my kids, making them, my wife, making them feel, special. And I thank you. I thank you, Shamm. Thank you, Jason.
Oh, man, you already know. But, like, for me, Puma was so big because Puma was kind of like my career. You know what I'm saying? Like, high school All-American, college All-American, get to the NBA, get injured, not knowing what I'm going to do, go overseas. And I seen, when I was coming up, you used to see Puma, but then Puma went away, and then they came back. But then when they came back so big and so bright, and sky's the limit. So, like, I always equated to my career because, like, me coming back and, like, not in a million years I could ever think that, that's why I'm not so hard on social media and the internet because I'm a product of the internet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the move and because of me being able to dribble and things like that, the stuff that people couldn't see me growing up in real time, they see now. And all the kids know me from the internet, and they be like, oh, that's Shenwell, that's Shenwell. And I could be walking down the street, and it's like a real funny story because Chauncey Billups was one of my best friends. And we came to Vegas 2 years ago. So we walking, and Chauncey Billups was going to be a Hall of Fame, NBA championship. We walking, and some kids walk by, and they're like, is that Shamm God? Is that Shamm God? Is that Shamm? So then Chauncey, he turns to me, and he's like, man, that's crazy, man. I'm about to be a Hall of Fame NBA championship, and the kids worrying about is that Shamm God, and nobody know who I am.
Right.
And I just start laughing, but I equate that to the internet. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Puma now, because of the social media, and whether it's because of Jay-Z, me, or whoever, you gotta give credit to the designers and things like that. So when they put it on social media, Puma's just got so big so fast, whereas back in the days, everything was like word of mouth.
Right.
All these other brands was word of mouth, word of mouth. But because we have so much social media and the world is so much small, it's easy for people in Ohio and be like, oh, I like Shamm God. Look what Shamm God's doing and things like that. And like I said, it's just been a blessing. And I want to thank y'all for taking this journey with me. I want to thank y'all for being here today with me and through the whole time. Jose, you co-hosting with me. You my brother.
Appreciate you,
things
man.
like that.
Appreciate you.
That's
And
big.
Jason is my brother. And everybody here that's working to make this vision come true, I want to thank y'all. And I want to thank y'all for coming on to talk to God. And this is a wrap.